table and decide what the price of gold would be. And but today, I thought that was pretty bad. But today, literally, they sit around and they pick a hit list. Some are American citizens that are on the hit list, but people all around the world. Oh, they're bad guys. They're terrorists. They want to kill us. They want to do these things. And they say, well, and we can do it in a sterile way. All we have to do is have a drone. Shoot them. Nobody's in danger. But guess what? Using drones to drop bombs and innocent people getting killed, no due process of law, and guess what? It makes a lot of enemies for us. I think it's a foolish foreign policy. We have drifted a long way from the idea of due process of law. They've made fun of this process. The administration, when they have been quizzed on this, well, what about the Fifth Amendment? Aren't we supposed to have due process of law? And they said, well, we have due process of law. But we fulfill the obligation to have due process of law because 2 or 3 individuals in the White House sit around and they decide whether he's a really bad guy or not. The one thing to try to remember, whether it's here in this country or any place in the world, when you say, that guy is a bad guy, and we need to take care of him. He's still a suspect. He's still a suspect. He's not a terrorist. He's a suspect. So all around the world we're deciding just willy-nilly who the terrorists are and who the suspects are. And I'll tell you what, it's going to give us more trouble than good. And that's where we are today. So this is the reason that we don't have to think that these ideas are coming from the far left. These ideas are traditional, they're conservative, they're constitutional, and they've been Republican in the past. I would like to say it's time for us to revitalize these ideas of the due process of law and never go to war without a declaration of war. Our government go to war without a declaration. And you know, this administration, they're really quite bold. I guess you've noticed that. They come and they testify, and when they're challenged, they say, well, don't you think we should have a declaration? No, we don't need that. Don't you think we should ask Congress? No, we don't need that. We'll get our marching orders, we'll get our declaration, we'll get our authority from the United Nations and from NATO. They claim that is where the authority comes from. But I'll tell you what, we would fight a lot less wars, we'd be a lot more peace, we'd be a lot richer, and I do not believe we would be in any greater danger if we just follow the law. Years ago, when the economic crisis hit, it sent a lot of signals. As I said, you know, it's the announcement that there will be the elimination of the Keynesian economic theories. It's something we'll have to replace it. It could be totalitarianism. It could be free markets. I'm betting on the free markets and more freedoms because I hear good messages around the country. I've really talked to hundreds of thousands of young people in the last couple of years. Most of them probably on campuses. Believe me, they are concerned, they're worried, they want their freedom, they don't want debt, they want jobs, and they do not believe that the government can deliver it to them on a platter. They believe it can be found in the cause of liberty and not in the cause of expanding the role of big government. Lewis, many years ago, gave some advice about we as people. And he talked about a good egg can't remain a good egg forever. A good egg either has to hatch or it will rot. And I was thinking of an analogy, you know, maybe we could make an analogy to what the founders did. they gave us a good aid. I think they gave us a constitutional republic. They gave it this aid, and it has not really hatched. The ideas of liberty were well studied, the founders understood it so clearly and built on it, and because they were well informed, biblically as well as philosophically, they were able to write a wonderful document. And they warned us, if we don't remain as free and moral people, the document won't mean anything. So I'm afraid that we're allowing much to be brought in the way. If you look at the last 100 years, we have given up so much of our liberties and become so dependent because we became so rich. Because a free society creates great wealth, and that makes people soft on the issue of protecting how you produce wealth. So we were just able to redistribute wealth, reward the lobbyists, reward the politicians, and everybody seemed to just shifting wealth around, everything was okay, except now, today everybody knows there's no welfare. It's only made up of debt. So I think the whole system has rotted away, and I would like to see this egg hatch. One thing the founders warned us against was pure democracy. They said pure democracy is very, very bad. And, we're supposed to be the republic, the Republican Party, But what happens is when the majority becomes dictator, they can rule over the minority. And now, basically, 51% or 52% of the American people are living off the 49% of the producers, and it's only consumption. And this is very, very dangerous. So we have to, once again, think about the principles of liberty in order to really hatch it and grow on this. There were challenges immediately after the Constitutional Convention. They started nibbling away at the principles laid out. And I think our last 100 years has not been good. But I think the growth of the freedom movement in the last 5 to 10 years has been fantastic. Last 5 years. Marvelous, and the young people are attracted to it. So I would say things are going very well in that regard. So what we need to do is make sure this is encouraged and make sure that the people know about it and understand it and know what to respond to. Because the type of government that we get, it's really what the people allow to happen. It's easy for us, as I do so often, to condemn the executive branch, the courts, and the Congress. It's all their fault. It's all our faults because we're responsible for the people up there. Frequently I use the quote from Samuel Adams about an irate tireless minority will, bring about changes, and they're more important than the majority. But it's a mixture. Yeah, ideas have consequences. They estimate that 4 to 5% of the people who led our revolution knew it and understood it, and the majority, did this back and forth. And fortunately, the leaders, the ones that had the right ideas, they won out. But eventually, ideas have consequences. And irate minority is very, very powerful. But you know what? You still have to sell it to the people. Because it is the people that will make the decision, that there will be an endorsement. So I think there's an irate minority, tireless minority, fighting and joining the cause of liberty.